You're living multiple lives right now. In this exact moment, there's a version of you that's financially free, another that's deeply loved, another with perfect health. And here's what quantum mechanics tells us. These aren't fantasies or distant possibilities. They're actual probability states existing in superposition, waiting for one thing, your observation, to collapse them into your lived experience. But here's what no one tells you about the observer effect. You're not just observing with your conscious mind, you're observing with your entire nervous system. Your body is voting, your subconscious is casting ballots. And right now, 95% of you might be observing a reality you consciously claim you don't want. Let's break the loop. Most people think they're stuck because of circumstances. Bad timing, wrong opportunities, not enough resources. But quantum physics reveals something far more unsettling. You're not stuck in your circumstances. You're stuck in your observation pattern. Here's what I mean. In quantum mechanics, particles exist in multiple states simultaneously until they're observed. The famous double-slit experiment proved this. A photon behaves as both a wave and a particle, existing in all possible locations at once until the moment you measure it. Then, instantly, it collapses into one specific outcome. Your reality works the same way. Every possible version of your life exists right now as a probability wave. But your nervous system, your dominant emotional state, your subconscious beliefs, they're the measuring device. They're collapsing the wave function every single moment. And here's the trap most people never escape. They're trying to change their reality while keeping the same internal observer intact. It's like trying to see a different movie while refusing to change the projector lens. You can change your job, your city, your relationship, but if your internal observation pattern, your nervous system signature, your emotional baseline stays the same, you'll reconstruct the same experiences in a different setting. Not because the universe is punishing you, because physics doesn't care about your preferences. It responds to your signal. Let's go deeper into the neuroscience. Your brain processes approximately 11 million bits of information per second, but your conscious mind can only handle about 40 bits. That means 99.999% of your reality processing is happening below conscious awareness, in the subconscious, where all your conditioning lives. Now, here's where it gets critical. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between past, present, and future. It doesn't know the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. It only knows patterns. And it's been running the same survival patterns for years, maybe decades, maybe inherited from generations before you. These patterns create what neuroscientists call predictive processing. Your brain is constantly predicting what's going to happen next based on past data. And then, through something called confirmation bias, it filters reality to match those expectations. You're literally creating a feedback loop where you observe what you expect, which reinforces the expectation, which strengthens the observation.
This is why affirmations alone don't work. You're trying to reprogram the 40 bits of conscious awareness while the 11 million bits of subconscious processing are running a completely different program. It's not a fair fight.
Dr. Joe Dispenza's research on neuroplasticity shows something profound. When you repeatedly think the same thoughts, you fire the same neural networks, which signal the same genes, which create the same proteins, which generate the same emotions, which drive the same behaviors, which create the same experiences. You're not living, you're looping. And the quantum field? It's not judging this loop, it's mirroring it with perfect precision.
So how do you actually shift the observer? Not the person being observed, the observer itself. This is where most manifestation teaching fails. They focus on changing the content of your thoughts. Think positive, visualize success, raise your vibration. But they miss the foundation, your nervous system state. Your nervous system is either in coherence or chaos. When it's in chaos, dysregulated, stuck in sympathetic overdrive, your heart rate variability drops. Your brain waves become incoherent, and you emit a fragmented electromagnetic signal into the field. The quantum possibilities that could collapse into your reality can't lock on to a chaotic signal. It's like trying to tune into a radio station with massive static. But when your nervous system enters coherence, something remarkable happens. Your heart and brain synchronize. Your electromagnetic field becomes organized, and suddenly you become a clear antenna, capable of both broadcasting a new signal and receiving new information from the field. This isn't spiritual bypassing. This is measurable biophysics. The HeartMath Institute has documented this for decades. Coherence creates the optimal state for quantum observation. Not just wanting a new reality, not just thinking about it, but becoming the vibrational match through physiological alignment. Here's the practice no one talks about. Before you try to manifest anything, you must first regulate. Slow, rhythmic breathing, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. This shifts you from sympathetic, survival, to parasympathetic, creation, activation. Do this for just 2 minutes, and you've changed your nervous system state, which changes your observation pattern, which changes what collapses from the quantum field. But regulation is just the beginning. The deepest level of the observer effect happens at identity. Who do you believe you are? Not who you want to be. Who you believe you are right now, at the core level where belief becomes biology. Most people are trying to manifest from an identity that contradicts the desired outcome. I am someone who struggles with money, trying to manifest wealth. I am someone who gets abandoned, trying to manifest lasting love. I am someone with bad genetics, trying to manifest health. The quantum field doesn't hear your wishes. It reflects your identity. This is why the ancient mystics and modern quantum physicists arrive at the same conclusion. You must die to be reborn. Not physically, energetically. The old observer, the old identity construct, must dissolve for a new one to emerge. And this feels like death, because to your ego, it is. Your ego is the sum of all your past experiences, stored as memory, reinforced as identity. It says, I am this because this happened to me. But quantum mechanics reveals something liberating. The past only exists as collapsed probability. It has no power over the present moment, except the power you give it through continued observation. When you stop identifying with who you were, when you stop collapsing the same memories into the same sense of self, you create a gap. And in that gap, new possibilities rush in. Not because you earned them, not because you finally did enough, but because you stopped being the observer who couldn't see them.
Let me give you a practical framework. I call it the Quantum Observer Protocol. It's not a manifestation technique. It's a complete reconstruction of how you interface with reality. Step 1. Morning calibration. Before you check your phone, before you enter the momentum of your day, spend 5 minutes in a specific state, eyes closed, breathing regulated, and ask yourself not what do I want, but who is the observer I'm choosing to be today. Feel into that identity, not as a future self, as a present signature. Let your body begin to resonate with that frequency. Step 2. Pattern interruption. Throughout your day, you'll catch yourself falling into old observation patterns. The moment you notice it, and this is crucial, don't judge it. Don't shame yourself. Just pause. Take 3 conscious breaths and choose a different response. This is neuroplasticity in action.
Every time you interrupt the old pattern and install a new one, you weaken the old neural pathway and strengthen the new one. You're literally rewiring the observer. Step 3. Embodied evidence. Your subconscious learns through experience, not information. So you must create micro-experiences throughout your day that match your desired reality. If you're shifting into abundance, practice the felt sense of ease around resources. Buy something small with complete presence in gratitude, signaling, "I have enough." If you're shifting into love, practice vulnerability in low-stakes situations. Let your body feel what safety in connection feels like. If you're shifting into health, move your body with appreciation, not punishment. These aren't rituals, they're evidence you're feeding your subconscious to repattern its predictions. Step 4. Quantum journaling. At the end of your day, don't journal about what happened. Journal from the observer you're becoming. Write 3 sentences from that identity. Not, "I want to be confident," but "I am someone who trusts my inner knowing." Not, "I hope to be abundant," but "I am someone who always has what I need." Your subconscious doesn't know you're journaling. It thinks you're reporting truth, and it begins to organize your biology and behavior around that truth. Now, here's what most people don't prepare for. The collapse won't be immediate. Not because the quantum field is slow, but because you're working against years, sometimes decades of conditioned observation. Your nervous system has momentum. Your neural pathways have depth. Your identity has inertia. This is where most people give up. They try the new observer for a few days, don't see massive external changes, and collapse back into the old pattern. But here's what they don't understand. The shift is already happening. At the quantum level, the field is responding instantaneously, but the translation into physical, observable reality requires consistent signal. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you first turn the dial, you get static. Then you hear fragments of the station. Then, if you hold the frequency steady, the signal locks in and becomes clear. Most people panic during the static phase. They think it's not working. They turn the dial back. But the station was there the whole time. They just didn't stay tuned long enough. This is why sustainability isn't optional. It's the entire mechanism. The quantum field doesn't reward effort. It reflects consistency. Every single day that you choose to be the new observer, even when nothing external has changed, you're strengthening the signal. You're collapsing more and more probability in favor of the new timeline. And then, one day, the external reality catches up, not because you finally did enough, but because the signal became undeniable.
So, let me ask you directly. Are you ready to stop being the observer who collapses the same reality over and over? Are you ready to become the experiment? To live as though the quantum field is listening to every signal your nervous system broadcasts? Because it is, right now, in this moment. You are collapsing probability into experience. The only question is, which probability? In the next 24 hours, I want you to try something, just once. Catch yourself in an old observation pattern. Maybe it's anxiety about money. Maybe it's expecting rejection. Maybe it's bracing for disappointment. And in that moment, pause, regulate your breath, and choose a different observer. Feel what it would feel like to be someone who doesn't carry that expectation. Just for 30 seconds, that's it. You're not trying to change your whole life in 30 seconds. You're proving to your nervous system that you can choose a different observation. And that small act, repeated, becomes the rewiring that changes everything. If this resonated, if something clicked into place, subscribe.
because this channel exists for people who are ready to stop consuming information and start becoming the signal. And in the comments, tell me, what's one observation pattern you're ready to interrupt? One word is enough. Name it, because naming it begins the collapse. You're not stuck. You're just observing the same way. And the moment you change the observer, reality has no choice but to follow.